Hello, greetings, cheers. Welcome to the Historical Boxing Society podcast. Um, I want to talk today about a series that I want to do, and I've dedicated a very large amount of research and man hours to come up with this series. And as you may have known from my channel, I do a boxing simulation. So just a little bit about the simulation. It's my attempt to use analytics because I'm a big believer in analytics, and bringing analytics into the world of boxing I think is very effective. The simulation really has to do with a combination of analytics and AI intelligence as we kind of combine the two as I made the program myself. And it's got no graphics. There's no point in me trying to attempt to ever release it. I'm just trying to tell you about it. And but I really like the idea of trying to take our opinions out of the objection and just kind of use a little bit higher form of thinking. And that's how I came up with the idea for the boxing simulation and program. And each one of these fighters in the program are very carefully crafted and brought along in their career arc. And I do believe a lot of the actual events that happen in the simulation are events that replicate real life events that happen on Boxing Rec. So I think a lot of it can really be taken somewhat intelligently, I really believe. And anyway, I got the brainchild of having the ultimate nerd idea, and that's what this series is entitled. It's Exploring the True Potential. That's how I'm going to phrase it. So one of the very first series I'm going to do on here is one of the biggest boxers in the entire Pioneer era. He's right up there towards the top, if not at the top. I'm not going to reveal anything. But the boxer Jack Johnson. So what I'm doing in these series is I put myself in the position of being Tex Rickard, the promoter. And what I'm going to do is take Jack Johnson and explore his true potential. And by doing that, I'm going to take him in real life scenarios of fights that could have happened. So as we go through Jack Johnson's entire timeline of his career, what we're going to do is maximize it to the full potential. So anybody that Jack Johnson could have faced when he had the opportunity to face them, he will face in the Tex Rickard run tournament. And, Tex Rickard is a perfect manager to try and bring all of these different fighters together. And we are going to explore the true potential of many fighters in the era here of the Pioneer era. I'm going to do one on Bob Fitzsimmons. I'm going to do one on Peter Jackson. I'm going to do one on Jim Jeffries. And I'm doing one on Jack Johnson, and maybe a few other fighters will mix in there. But because many of these fighters, as we go through the boxing history, you're like, how in God's earth did these two fighters not meet? And that's what every nerd in boxing world is actually thinking about. I mean, what is the fantasy fight world of Rocky Marciano versus Jack Dempsey? I mean, they couldn't have actually met in timeline. But in this format that I'm doing here, exploring the true potential, these are all fights that could have actually happened. So what I'm going to do is I'll give you a mythical date, I'll give you their mythical ages, and then instead of injecting my opinion of who I feel that's going to win, because we don't want to use an opinion-based argument here, what we're going to do is use simulation. And we're going to see what simulation is dictating exactly how good the true potential of the particular fighter is. I mean, the questions are as old as time. What did a prime Jim Jeffries do with the prime Jack Johnson? So these are some of the questions that we're going to get answered when we explore the true potential of a fighter. And the great thing is, by doing this, I can also maybe even be nerdy enough to give you a return match, because many of these fighters earned their legacy on how they performed in the return matches. When I think of one of the greatest return match fighters ever, the first person I think of is Harry Wills. He eventually got everybody figured out and would learn to dominate him. It just took him a little bit of time sometimes. So exploring the true potential, we are going to actually get to actually really see what they do in the return match, because I do think that is very vital. There's very many instances that I try and say where the winner of the first fight, maybe in particular simulation, shows that they may have indeed got lucky and they were not in fact superior to the product that they beat. And that might be the case very many times. I mean, that's why when we're exploring the true potential, I'm going to try and give you the actual 1902 version of Jack Johnson, the 1906 version of Jack Johnson, and the 1910 version of Jack Johnson. So we can kind of really get a feel for how he's doing young, how he's doing at the middle of his career, and then how he's doing at the end of his career. And I do believe, personally, this would be some of the material that I would greatly be interested in viewing on YouTube if I were a boxing nerd. So hopefully there's people out there that think just the way I do, and they're really going to enjoy this series and really get an idea of how things would have shaken down if these fighters really maximized their real true career. So that's the series I'm going to launch here, and I'm going to do it very shortly here. And the first series of the first guy is going to be exploring the true potential of Jack Johnson.